on the AM side, and keep in mind the fact that today is International Day for Biological Diversity, as commemorated by the United Nations. Has got a theme: harmony with nature and sustainable development. Okay, now that being said, looking about development right there, this is me welcoming you to Eagles Outlook, the political and current affairs prog show, a program and a show. That's why it's called the prog show, put together just for us to have a voice, and that our voice must count, and that's the truth. And the truth is, if our voices don't count, why do we have this political chaos and turmoil here and there, scampering just to get our votes? Oh, if it doesn't count, why do they so much care after every 4-year term or 8-year term for our thoughts at the polls? Why exactly then are we put in the place of followership? If not, all of us would have just been leaders, don't you think? But yeah, being a follower is not a weakness. Being a follower, in fact, is the greatest strength, especially when you look at the idea of governance, right? And let's look into critically into the Emefiele saga. I mean, the 753 duplexes and apartments right there, somewhere in the local Goma area of Abuja. But just before we do so, I was asking some pertinent question at an 8 o'clock hour. One of such questions would be, what indeed emboldens these politicians to loot us dry? I mean, some statement was credited to a former military head of state who said that Nigeria's problem is knowing how to spend money. Money is not the problem. Oh, it's how to spend the money that has been the problem for us. But is it still a problem up until now? Are we still clueless as to how to spend our monies? Is this why these very, very retarded element in the political system and structure are indeed allowing for themselves to be boffins, to show great strength in their boffinery? Because we wouldn't say that this is a mastermind, this is a masterpiece. It's not a masterpiece when you loot your country for something you did not even work for, you don't earn, you don't deserve. It's not a masterpiece. You shouldn't be celebrated for that. It's a boffinery. So could this be the reason they keep showing their boffinery and looting our national assets? Face and then coming on to the media and telling us what they want us to believe. I mean, at some point, didn't some of you think that the former CBN governor was the saint? Oh, he was one of the good ones. I mean, there were some restructuring that he put down during the Buhari administration. Oh, how did we know that there were other things going on underground? I like to call them the munumunus. But yes, at some point, came out and said he wants to be the president. Oh, yes, it did. You don't remember? And then we had the Naira policy then, currency change. Oh, that put us in a lot of agony. People, Nigerians, my brothers and sisters, lost their lives. Because the high and mighty, they had access to the new Naira notes. And those that didn't have access to it, we were like sheep without a shepherd, scattered around. And the wolves were there, hunting us down. But we survived, though. Where is he now? It just tells us that there's nothing hidden under the sun. But now, there are properties also linked to him that the federal government is thinking what to do with the 753 duplex and apartments. Well. The Federal Ministry of Housing and Urban Development has taken delivery of the 753 housing units in Abuja's local Goma district that was recovered from, of course, the former central bank governor Godwin Emefiele. And of course, there's been an assessment and completion task where the ministry will conduct a thorough integrity structural assessment of all the buildings and associated infrastructure to confirm their safety and sustainability for habitation. Now, they'll also complete all outstanding infrastructure, including roads, drainage systems, and essential amenities. I mean, the housing units will be offered for sale through a transparent and competitive process, widely advertised and managed via the Renewed Hope portal. Interested Nigerians can submit their expressions of interest. That's what's going on. All right, so the units will be sold to both the public and for special government needs. The ministry aims to make a model of accountability and public benefit. Okay, so the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, will monitor the ministry's efforts to complete the estate and provide periodic reports to President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, ensuring transparency in the process. And just so you know, as of yesterday, we had the EFCC chair now taking an inspecting the property. Right? Welcome to move. Some have expressed concerns about ensuring transparency and fairness in the sale process, and the FCC has emphasized the importance of demonstrating transparency in the application of recovered assets to prevent them from being looted again. But have you ever taken out time to think and ponder on what I'm about to tell you right now? I mean, if one man can have the 753 duplexes, one man thought about it, brought it to limelight, in other words, brought it into completion or in the works. Have you seen those buildings? Now, get across social media platform right now, particularly our YouTube channel and Facebook page wall, and see for yourself those buildings. Oh, they look durable. They look durable. Honestly, they do. Well structured, at least from what my eyes can architect. Right. Well, I don't have a plum in my eye, but I'm just saying, from what I see, oh, they look beautiful. One man just did that. And yet, administrations upon administrations upon administrations, up until this administration, remember the Renewed Hope housing policy by the president? Well, they say it's still ongoing. And it makes us wonder, when is it going to come to completion? Is it after 4 years or after 8 years? Or after Mr. President is gone? So some other person will now call it the visionary agenda project. You know that we always have a way of giving new names to these things. How long is it going to take for completion? I mean, is there any part that is completed so we say, okay, this part is completed now, it has been sent, disbursed, people have been able to, have access to it, or Mr. President's promise about allowing for people to have, affordable houses, owning a house and everything has come to bear? Or what is going on there? That's still at bay. But one man made sure that 753 duplexes was put together. Well, our guest is none other but my friend, Sir Comrade Gerald Okachi. And he's going to be doing justice to this. Just in case you didn't know, he is a human rights activist, a public affairs commentator, a social analyst, and conflict resolution expert. Very fit for this discourse this morning, though. Now, the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, has recovered the 753-unit housing estate in Abuja's Local Goma district. Yeah? The property was allegedly acquired with proceeds of unlawful activities. And the properties were allegedly also of course, the federal government in itself is planning to sell all these properties through a transparent and competitive process. They aim to utilize the proceeds for benefit of Nigerians. Now, the move is demonstrated by the government as a commitment to transparency and accountability in managing recovered assets. But somebody had come out to adding his voice in the discourse. Now, that's talking about a rep member who is in person of Abdul Samad Dasuki, is representing the Kebe Tambuwal Federal Constituency of Sokoto State. Now, he has suggested that the 753 duplexes recovered from the former central bank governor, Godwin Emefiele, be given to the military, the Nigerian military. He made that statement. Comrade Gerald Okachi, welcome aboard. Talk to us.
Thank you for having me. Very good morning to you and your wonderful listeners.
Well, Comrade, the news of the 753 duplexes and apartments is no news anymore. I mean, it's flooded the front page of Nigerian newspapers already. And one question that I asked earlier, just before you came aboard, would be if one man was able to think about this project, 753 with duplexes, which is within what's the time frame? 753, and one man thought about it and is fixing it. Saying, emboldening, I'm just saying that the speed at which this project was handled, right? Just one man's dream. And yet we have a renewed hope housing that, of course, Mr. President is spearheading as one of his campaign promises to provide shelter, especially for those of us in the society who are unable to own houses, to have a roof over our heads. And it's taken how long now? That's on the one side. However, a rep member representing, a certain constituency in Sokoto State has come out to saying that, look, here is what we should do with the 753 duplexes. Let's give it to the military. They need it more. However, the Ministry of Housing, Works and Housing, is looking at allowing for Nigerians to send their applications, show their interests for these housing, houses, which will be closely monitored by the EFCC for transparency. What are your thoughts?
Also, the 753 duplexes and recovered from former CBN Governor Godwin Emefiele. Why I'm surprised is because of course his step on the so many toes, all eyes will be on him. You understand? You record that even after the late head of states have died for more than 30 years and almost 30 years and counting. That is Abacha. We still recover a lot of funds from him, even from the grave. So some of the funds we recover can build that in more than 20 times. So that is the level of corruption, impunity, abuse of power without conscience, zero conscience. That is what we have, today. Now, I learned that just recently we heard in the news, defense of APC national chairman trying to, defend one-party system because of gale of defections that are going on in the country today.
Yeah, Ganduje.
Yes, Ganduje. And then you ask yourself, are we using the same punitive measures that the Chinese are using with regards to fight against corruption? You understand?
Right.
If we begin to use punitive actions against corrupt officials, certainly it will be serving as death threat to others who are waiting for their own turn. Because it appears like the corruption of the day now appears to be a turn-by-turn thing. Any administration that comes, you accuse them of corruption. By the time the other one comes, you discover that those who are self-attached to what is coming on board. Then, the member House of Rep, suggesting that those houses be given to military is a welcome idea. But I think that shouldn't be a priority, because for me, my strong suggestion with regards to the recovered houses is to Ministry of Housing to collaborate with the city ministry to see how they make it for those who have of the city, those who are living in areas like those city cape villas in Guzape districts, those people that have suffered untold, demolition and destruction of properties and lives, those that have been relegated to square one again, they should be given priority as a way of protecting them, as a way of bringing them back to society, because God is for the interest of the people. They should be given priority. That housing, duplexes and apartments that is counting over 750 plus can accommodate over 5,000 human beings there, including children and adults. So if you have demolished from last year to date, displaced over 10,000 persons and counting, this can be a way of integrating them back into process. Most of the houses they demolished, among them are artisans, among them are civil servants, among them are traditional rulers, among them are religious leaders, and so on and so forth. You can use this housing scheme to reintegrate them back to the society. That is number one suggestion. Second suggestion is if they can also find a way to carry police along, because we have for a very long time talked about police welfare. Recently we have seen rise in police brutality. Something we think that we have made gains as at the time we protested in 2020 is beginning to rise again. Extrajudicial killings, intimidation, harassment, assault and battery. Because their welfare is not properly taken care of. Those guys suffer in silence because they can't protest. Nobody to speak for them. Their welfare is not taken care of. So sleep in their police stations. In a place that you cannot even keep for animals, where mosquitoes and others will be biting them. They can be considered. Whereas their salaries, maybe you put it in form of percentage to be deducting it gradually. Military are better, in terms of welfare packages, protected than even police. That is second suggestion, if they are to go in that direction. So making it, introducing a portal where people will apply for this. I don't subscribe to it, because it's human being that manage the portal. It's human being that manage the sabotage with jump students. It's human being that causes glitches. It's human being that managing the student loan. We are even graduates. Those that graduated are still collecting pocket money from the state loans. Whereas the ones that are still in school have not had access to even get the benefit of those loans. So I don't subscribe to it, because it appears like our system is programmed to continue to support corruption and the abuse of office. So if we can go into these two directions, it will make a lot of sense. It will show that our government have empathy. And then talking about CBN governor, trying to use backdoor to see how he can recover those houses. It's unfortunate, because I know that one of the things that led him up to those properties is the roofing receipts they got in his house. EFCC got in his house. That was when they did a forensic investigation and discovered that he owned those things. And I must use this opportunity to, give kudos to EFCC for an excellent job. I give thumbs up to Olukayode, the chairman of EFCC, and his team. They have shown that they are doing their best to salvage a bad situation with regards to corruption and bribery in Nigeria. So I give it to them. And every good Nigerian is supposed to give them support to see how they can improve from what they have done. If it were in the past, they would dilly-dally with their those things they recovered. And probably how they will use backdoors to return it to the owners or even do whatever they want to do with it will be an abstract information to the public. But this one, they did it transparently and they still hand it over to housing. So it's a thumbs up to them. And I pray that others like ICPC, Code of Conduct, and all the law enforcement agencies can emulate what they did to see how we can improve trust and faith to the system. I'm also happy that judiciary, unlike them, we are firm in this final forfeiture. Even when Emefiele and his lawyers brought a lot of excuses to see how they can find time and begin to argue the matter, they stood firm. And that is why I said that majority of those on the bench, those sitting in the bench, are upright in their work. They need support. But those ones that have a questionable attitude should be called out.
But comrade,
so that agency can, clean their house.
But comrade, don't you think that all of these that's going on, all this speedy and smooth, action being taken by relevant authorities, stakeholders, and all of that, could be as a result of the fact that the subject in question, talking about the former CBN governor, had a fell out with the powers that be. Don't you think? Yes. Is that not why all of this is happening? So when we start saying kudos, don't you think that that kudos would only be fair if we saw all of these mechanisms and machinations doing this in other sphere, as they make recovery and discoveries? Because Nigerians are saying we've not seen the smooth transition, handover. I mean, judiciary coming top notch, EFCC, Ministry of Works. Everybody seems to be working like a government should work. We've not seen it in the insecurity. We've not seen it in other, sectors of a country. Doesn't it disturb you a little bit?
You see, I agreed to a certain level that Emefiele is facing what he's facing because he does not find favor with regards to those that are in charge of power today. And that is why these revelations are growing. You discover that in recent times, in recent weeks, we have seen cross-carpeting or defection, especially in Delta State, where the former governor, Okowa, was accused of misappropriating trillions of naira. And he quickly defected.
Right.
Probably for protection. Most likely to find soft landing. You understand? We also saw even this EFCC, the frantic effort the chairman made with regards to making an attempt to arrest the former governor of Kogi State.
Yeah, Bello.
You understand? We saw his struggles. And it is on record that former chairman of APC, who is now a senator, made a public comment that if you join APC, all your sins are forgiven.
Right.
You understand?
Yeah.
It's likely that if Godwin Emefiele were to be in the good books of these governments, probably, most likely, all these revelations and what he's facing will not be in the public domain. That is what I believe. Because I find it difficult to understand why the likes of Hadi Arias, his case is in court. They cannot make it as public as they are making Emefiele.
Right.
The one that do us 21st Yahoo of the century, brought air fleet from Kenya and they paid it Nigerian Airways. At the end of the day, it becomes scam. I do not see why even the former Accountant General of the Federation, who was allegedly accused of misappropriating billions of naira to the tune of over 80, some say 120 billion, as the case may be. I do not see reason why even the immediate fact NPC GMD is working freely. Whereas the turnaround maintenance or rehabilitation or reconstruction, whatever language they have used in our 4 refineries, that they have done for more than 10 years. That even as of now, they said that he has started working. Some are saying it's only blending. Some are saying that he's not even working up to 30%. The man is still working freely. After we have spent billions of dollars, not even in naira.
You're talking about Melekari?
Yes.
I mean, there's been calls that he should be extradited.
It's not like that. It's not even this. It's like that. It's not in the country.
From UAE, from so.
You understand?
Right.
So why are they working freely? There are people that you can call and ask questions. How did this thing happen? They should come and give account of their stewardship. You understand? It's not for you to just quickly run and hide under APC, where they will give you protection. EFCC should be seen as impartial agency of government that is fighting corruption. Of course, I give them we have seen effort they are making with regards to fight against Yaya Bello. We have seen also the ones they are making against Hadi, I think Hadi or something like that. They should be seen, not to be partisan in this fight against corruption. Of course, Godwin Emefiele partially is a member of APC because there were reports that he wanted to contest for president. There were reports that he also purchased the nomination for which 100 million, either through Prozi or I think through Prozi. You understand? So there are people we should ask questions. I find it hard to believe that even as you're making this Godwin Emefiele case public, the last of Senator Bukachua, who came to the public and told us how he influenced the wife, for the wife who was the appeal court judge. Persons like this that are putting we have this, it can grow. Because today, the gap between the leaders and the led is continue to widen.
Right.
Because it's a question where you tell us one thing and you are doing another thing. Just recently, we saw the power minister trying to give the excuses or reasons why he's targeting to increase the tariff again. Whereas the one he has already increased and pushed people to ban A, but by A people are not enjoying 20 power supply as he promised. To the point that even the villa does not have faith in him that the budget billions of naira to get solar.
Oh gosh.
There are people we need to ask questions. And if we find them wanting, they should be brought to book. Of course, Godwin Emefiele is still facing a lot of cases here and there. But these recovered buildings, we help prosecutors, especially in EFCC. We help prosecutors, especially in EFCC, in their fight, prosecution against Godwin Emefiele.
Okay.
Prosecution against Godwin Emefiele.
Okay.
Because it will add as part. Because it will add as part of evidences.
Right. Well, let's take that quickly and we'll break, and then we get to hear from Nigerians out of quickly and the break, and then we get to hear from Nigerians, other family members too. This one is coming from Samuel from Kuje. He says, thanks a lot for always updating us with the happenings in the country. Thank you, Samuel. One man in the country having 750 houses in a country where some are living under bridges and roaming the streets without a place to lay their heads. This is the ones we hear about. What of the ones that are yet to be uncovered? I fear for this country. One thing is to make recovery. Another thing is to handle what is recovery. these recoveries properly. All right. Thanks to you. I see this one coming from Turkenby Hundu now from Nasarawa State. It says, I greet you and your guest. The EFCC is so selective in its fight. It's because former CBN governor offended someone who is Oga in government that we are hearing about these investments today. How about APC Chairman Ganduje, who allegedly carried dollars in his agbada? How about former Delta State Governor Okowa, who AFCC said he allegedly stole hundreds of billions of naira? There are many people in Tinubu government accused of embezzling billions while serving their states. If the EFCC is serious to investigate people like Matawale, Wike, Umahi, and so on, Tekambi Hundu is saying that. Right. Well, comrade, I'll give you the right to respond, but let's just go pay some bills. We'll be right back in a short bit. Right.
Eagles 102.3 Abuja.
Meet the Infinix Note 50 series, defined by pioneers, push boundaries. Its ultra-resilient armor alloy metal frame design gives you that slick, top-notch style. Unlock efficiency with intelligence of the one-tap Infinix AI and circle to search anything on your phone with Google. Need power in a flash? 90 watts fast charge rockets you from 0 to 100% in 38 minutes. Exclusive deals at authorized stores. Get your Note 50 now. The Infinix Note 50 series, Pro Design, Pro AI.
Eagles 102.3 Abuja.
Things they happen for our community, eh?
Now I can recoup back all the money I have spent on this annoying family.
Hey, yeah. That woman own don't finish.
My dear, let's go and greet them, okay?
Hey! Join Media Coalition and Awareness to hold trafficking, MICAS, on I Wish I Knew radio drama and program every Saturday at 10 a.m. on Eagles 102.3 FM Abuja. Join us to kick human trafficking out of our society. I Wish I Knew radio drama and program is brought to you by MICAS and funded by the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of Denmark.
Eagles 102.3 Abuja.
Still talking what to do with the 753 duplexes that has been recovered right there, formerly owned by the former governor of the central bank, Godwin Emefiele. What is it that we must do about these duplexes? How is it supposed to be disbursed? How is it supposed to be channeled? Who is supposed to benefit from it? Is it a sector of people? Is it the poorest of the poor? Is it every Nigerian? Is it the rich or the political class? Who are those that should benefit from it? 0907-353-0044. Hello, good morning.
Morning, Sodwa.
Yes, please, Honorable Edwards.
Yes, I'm calling from Apo.
Awesome. Talk to us.
Yeah, I actually, let me first of all appreciate the EFCC for, at least helping us to recover unjust money stolen from CBN.
Mm-hmm.
The problem I have is, what is, you see, before an agency is created,
yeah,
there should be a constitution, there should be a law guarding the agency. It's operation completely. So now, what does the constitution say about this type of, a situation? I hope EFCC has given this house to federal housing or Minister of Federal Housing, something like that. I hope it will not result into making going for another arrest. I really want to know the position of constitution. I think there's a better way, like our guest here. I also want to appreciate him. There's a better way to, to go, for this. But if they are handing this to federal housing, what has federal housing been doing in Nigeria? I am not condemning them, but is it in accordance with the constitution? Yes, we should look into this very well. Thank you, and God bless you.
All right. Appreciate that one from you, though. Comrade Honorable Edwards, I beg your pardon. Well, keep the calls coming through. You tell us very straight to the point. Go straight to the point, please. Time is not our friend. 0908-766-8888. This is going to be a very fast call now. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, please.
Good morning, our guest.
Yeah.
Felix from Lambata.
Felix from Lambata. Let's go straight to it.
Yes. We thank God, EFCC recovery and what is happening. It's not doing us any favor by doing their job. It's part of their job specification. Do the right to recover these loot, and Nigerians will be happy. But then there are so many Emefiele in the society.
Right.
There are so many Emefiele in the society that EFCC have to go after. A situation where you are doing selective prosecution it's not the best. Okay. We are all Nigerians, and everyone that have committed or have looted or mismanaged, we know them. Yes, know them. So yes, is not doing us any doing this selective thing. Just picking a nation because nation is not in the good book of the book that matters. Those who are in the good book, those who have some more than a nation, we know them. Let yes go after them too and get them prosecuted. Thank you.
All right, appreciate that one from you, Felix. Let's see how we can also get this voice note right here and on here. Okay, we'll just take a pause on the calls now and see how we can take this voice note here. Okay, but just before the voice note, I should take this message on here, and it's coming from Emma Future, president under Emma Future. Didn't quite telling me where it is that you are messaging from, Emma Future, right? Okay, please let us know where it is that you're sending that message from. But let's meanwhile, let's go see this voice note on here. Okay, so this one here goes.
Okay, straight to the point. Good morning, Rob Daniel. This is Gonia from Guampa. Yeah, first of all, our guest has spoken well. Yeah, he spoke very straight to the point, saying the truth as it may be. Emefiele. Anyway, he is not the first, and he will be the last if we don't act for the housing stuff. I would suggest the federal government plans in a better way to do the house to our civil servants and those people who were affected in this house demolition and stuff. It shouldn't be just even though the House of Work members spoke with them. Nigerians in total should benefit from this. It shouldn't be just one-sided. Nigerians should benefit. And also, the renewed hope housing stuff should be told. Let's just tell the truth. That renewed hope housing, whatever, it's a big scam. Do have a good day. Thank you.
Okay, Ogwanaya right there says that this should be about Nigerians, and it should get to everybody. And of course, that the renewed hope housing issue, he doesn't believe in it at all, right? Okay, well, I see you coming from in my future now saying, okay, all the way from Duse Alaji. All right, thank you for that one though. In my future says under APC. There is no single person who has been prosecuted is because Emefiele refused to bend for them. That is why he is facing this calamity. There are thousands of these government officials who have looted money more than him that are still walking on the streets of Nigeria free. EFCC is selective. Please, they should, he's saying they should give him one of the duplexes to stay. He says he's also a Nigerian also. I mean, in my future president, you are correct. You're a Nigerian. You should be given the house too, right? I agree with you. Okay. But anyways, though, I see you, Sanusi from Suleja now says, whatever the government decides to do with the recovered houses is a welcome development. God bless Nigeria and God bless Eagles FM. Thank you, Sanusi. Good morning to you too. Seeing this one now coming from Chinonso from Suleja. It says, so Lukoyode, the EFCC doesn't know about, is it that Olukayode does not know about Better Edu case? Don't be professional when it comes to Emefiele. Chinonso from Suleja right there says, okay, your professionality seems like is being chosen so to speak. Don't be professional when it comes to Emefiele. Let the rain touch every roof, okay? But well, I'll just connect with my guest again, so he gives final thoughts to the discourse this morning. Though, I mean, we're still looking at what to do. What exactly are we doing with the 753 duplexes that have been recovered already and handed over from the EFCC to the Ministry of Works right there? What do we do with it, right? What do we do with it? How should it be shared? How should it be disposed? How should it be, yeah, should it get to us? Should it get to me? Should it get to you? Are there certain people in the society that this housing should be about? Well, can we tell? We don't know. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good
Yes,
morning.
good morning. Yes, what's your name? Where you calling from?
Yes, my name is Takenby.
All right, Takenby. Awesome. Talk to us, Takenby.
Yes. Daniel, well done. I want to greet your guest.
Just one line, Takenby, no time. One line, let's go to it.
Yes,
yeah.
Yes. I want to start by saying that the EFCC is very selective, vindictive, goes after perceived enemies. And this is very bad, though. There is God, though. There are many people in this government who have been allegedly accused of one form of corruption or the other, who has not been investigated or just overlooked. For example, someone serving in this government, he said all the people who contested when he was governor, he was the one that bought forms for them. Do you know how many billions it is, Daniel? And the EFCC kept mute. Under this same government, their national chairman has been allegedly accused of carrying dollars in his agbada, and nothing has happened. Under this same government, Matawada has been accused of allegedly helping himself with billions of funds while he was governor, and nothing happens. The EFCC should fear God. And also, like your guest has mentioned, former governor of Delta State, it was in the news by the Sun newspaper that he has been accused of helping himself with hundreds of billions, and nothing has happened. Now he has joined the APC. We are watching. There are many Emefiele in this government, and nobody is saying anything. They are enjoying themselves. Yeah, it's God, though.
All right, Takenby. Appreciate that one. It says there is God, and on that note of there is God, trying to connect with our guest again, but I don't know. Network, of course, been fuzzy, and your call still coming through, but I won't be able to take this out. I just want to pray. I'm believing and trusting those at the helm of affair would see that Nigerians are no pushover, and that we do know indeed what exactly is going on, and we are speaking fearlessly. Not because we are trying to usurp the government. No, that's not it. But because it is our constitutional right to do so, to probe these happenings. Please wake up from your sleep has been something that Nigerians are beginning to sing and talk about right now. And we are looking at you with the eagle's eyes. Okay, so this last message drops saying, though, Joseph from Jai, good morning, Eagles FM. Okay, I need one of everybody's saying they need one of the duplexes, that he has suffered a lot from the Nigerian government. He generated